Eng.Harrison MUTIKANGA, the CEO of Uganda Electricity Generation Company, UEGCL. Now, the unbundling of UEB under the Electricity Act of 1999 transformed Uganda's power sector from a molly-bird monopoly public utility into a vibrant regulated sector. This created the current three companies, UEGCL, UETCL, UEDCL, and also the Act established the Electricity Regulatory Authority that is an independent regulator for the power sector. And since then, that was around 2000, 2001, there has been tremendous progress in the electricity sector. Electricity installed generation capacity has since increased from less than 300 megawatts to now over 2,000 megawatts. There has been a lot of private investments in the sector. I think Uganda is one of the countries where the private sector has built one of the largest hydropower plants, that is the 250 megawatts Bujagali hydropower plant. The sector has also attracted over 40 independent power producers who have significantly contributed to Uganda's electricity generation capacity by over 800 megawatts. And the private sector alone has brought in about 1.5 billion US dollars in the generation sector. On the distribution side, the sector has also registered tremendous operational efficiency. The distribution segment was concessioned to Umeme, and Umeme was able, in the last 20 years, to reduce technical and commercial losses to around 16%. Revenue collection efficiency also improved to over 95%. And the sector has really benefited from the reforms that started in the late 1990s. In a nutshell, I think Uganda has benefited from the power sector reforms by transforming a utility that was failing, that is UEB, into a sector that is very dynamic, competitive, and has significantly contributed to Uganda's socio-economic development. I've been at the helm of UEGCL since December 2014, so that's over a decade as the CEO. Now, during the past 10 years, I can describe my experience as a mix of success and challenges. I've seen UEGCL grow from a concession monitoring company. That is, we used to oversee the ESCOM concession for the Kilanaruare dams, where UEGCL had about 24 staff, and UEGCL has now grown to about 450 staff. We grew from overseeing a concession to now operating Uganda's key strategic infrastructure. We carry out operation and maintenance of the Isimba 183 megawatts. We are also responsible for the operations of Karuma 600 megawatts. So UEGCL has become a significant player in the energy sector, controlling over 60% of the electricity market share. Now, the story of Karuma and Isimba is an interesting story, because when the project started, they were started by the Ministry of Energy, and they were turnkey projects. So you get an EPC contractor, hand over the site to him, and you expect that by the end of the day, he'll hand over the key for you to turn on and switch on a properly functioning power plant. Now, that was not the case for Karuma and Isimba. So along the way, we got a lot of challenges, and UEGCL was brought on board, especially when I joined the company in 2014. The projects were maybe Isimba, both projects had started, and I would say they were like 30% into physical progress. Now, the challenge we encountered as UEGCL, we were given mandate to supervise the projects, but we didn't have any authority in terms of deciding on the quality, on the schedule, and also on the cost. So we are not approving. Everything was between the owner's engineer, the contractor, and the Ministry of Energy. But we were in there, and we are supposed at the end of the day to take over the plants and manage them on behalf of the government of Uganda. Now, when we saw that the challenges were becoming too many, I mean, we had issues of concrete starting to crack prematurely at Karuma, at Isimba. We had to escalate these issues to His Excellency the President, who directed that UEGCL be given full contract administration powers. And that was around 2016, 2017. And that's when we really took charge of these projects. But of course, they had progressed maybe by around 70% by that time. And I'm happy that from that time, we could at least approve interim certificates. The contractor could now listen to us, and we are also in charge of the owner's engineer. So we managed to make sure that we put back the projects on track, and I'm happy that we were able to successfully commission these projects, and now they are up and running with some challenges, and I think these lessons will be very helpful going forward in developing new hydropower projects in Uganda, if we are given the authority to develop the projects right from the start up to the end. Now, our vision is to have a financially sustainable sector where electricity is very well priced, where not only the private sector but the public sector companies can also be allowed a return on investment, so that we can be able to generate enough money, not only for operation and maintenance, but also for investing in new generation capacity, so that we can play a very significant role in Uganda's Vision 2040 of developing 52,000 megawatts and be able to contribute to the tenfold growth strategy of the country. Reliable electricity to continue powering industries, and we are also looking at a sector with the competent staff, indigenous staff. Currently, we have built a lot of capacity as UEGCL, and all the people running and operating our power plants are Ugandans that we have trained as UEGCL, and I think that will ensure sustainability, but also it makes running these power plants more cost effective. The key milestones that I'm most proud of, one is a team of very talented individuals that we have built as UEGCL, right from the shop floor at the power plants to the EXCO team in top management. The other milestone is the international certificates that we have attained. Now we have an integrated management system certification for management systems, for environment, for health and safety, and we are also working towards certification in asset management. So all this gives assurance to the public out there that UEGCL is being run like an international company, following the international processes in everything we are doing in generating electricity. The other milestone is the successful transfer that we presided over from the private sector to the public sector. So the transfer of the concessions of ESCOM, or of the Kilanaruare assets back to UEGCL. But also we presided over the transfer of the Nama thermal power plant back to UEGCL. And this seamless transfer up to today, I think, is a big testament that UEGCL is now prepared to oversee these key strategic assets on behalf of government. The memorable events were really the commissioning of these mega projects. For Karuma and Simba, you could see excitement everywhere, from the political leadership to the staff and even to the citizens. So that shows that we are making a very significant contribution to our nation by presiding over the successful commissioning of these mega projects on behalf of government. Yeah. As we celebrate 25 years, my message to the next generation, they have to be prepared to take over the sector from the very strong foundation that we have laid in the last 25 years. I think going forward, the sector is going to require visionary thinking in terms of integrating renewable energy onto the grid, in terms of leveraging technology. We are talking about digitalization. We are talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, digital twins. So technology is evolving very fast that the next generation must really take advantage to continuously enhance operations in the energy sector. But also, the next generation must make sure that they adapt all our infrastructure to meet the challenges that are coming with changes in the climate. So there are so many climate change risks, and we must make sure that our infrastructure is resilient enough to withstand those changes. But like we say in UEGCL, we must be prepared to continuously improve on everything that we are doing. And the next generation must make sure that they keep on the light and make it more brighter as we continue to generate for generations. I don't know if it is still possible or not, but maybe for the future leaders of the company, the advice I would give, I would have given myself in 2014, maybe is twofold. One, you must never be satisfied with what you have. You must continuously strive to enhance your knowledge, your competency along the way. And I take strong advice from a book by Jim Collins, Of Good to Great. He says that companies that move from good to great start with who and then what next. So who is the people? Do you have the right people in the right place? Do you have competent people to help you do the work you are supposed to do? So I think for me, that is really, really very critical. That who first and then what next. Because if you have very good people, they will develop the strategy, They will help you to execute the strategy. The other thing that comes out for me is the planning. You must plan and plan if you want to develop mega projects like Karuma and Isimba. So pre-project planning is very, very important. How do you, at what stage do you involve like panel of experts? Because what we discovered along the way is that mistakes that are made during design and construction are very hard to correct after the project has been completed and commissioning.